ang sirena ng Pilipinas, 3-time Olympian.
Our first awardee competed in 3 Olympic Games for the Philippines as a swimmer. It is a great pleasure to introduce Akiko Thomson Guevara, Oli.
Ano nga ba ang buhay ng isang atleta pagkatapos ng mga medalya?
Everyone had always pegged me as the swimmer. And I felt like, shucks, isn't there anything else I can do? There's more. I used to always say there's more to me. I'm not just a swimmer, you know.
Akiko talks about her real-life battles.
How is it having a child with special needs?
She's not going to walk when typical kids walk or talk as when typical kids talk.
Tara, get to know the other side of Akiko Thomson, Philippines Olympian for life.
My hope and prayer is that this recognition will inspire and will fuel greater work in our part of the world, and so let's all keep the Olympic spirit alive.
I feel very blessed to be able to do the work I do.
Pilipino tayo, kaya lumalaban tayong nakangiti.
With me, put your hands together, tara, let's be happy. You will see tomorrow's brighter, tara, let's be happy.
Bata pa lang ako, Akiko Thomson na siya. Nakasama ko siya sa Probe Team, Probe Productions. So now, we'll get to know her a bit more. Uy, ang cute naman. Uy, how nice. Of course, I know Akiko. Of course, I know her because bata pa lang ako, Akiko na siya. But we worked together in Probe Productions.
Ilang years ago?
Many, many years ago. She was a host of Game Plan.
And you were the host of Probe.
Yeah, that's how I got to know her. Otherwise, hindi yata mag-cruise ang landas namin.
Circa 2000.
2002, 2000.
Yeah, mga ganun.
Yeah. Ito yung pamilya niya. Her panganay, Noah, Elira, and
Sachiko. And my husband, who hasn't combed his hair. Pasensya na lang.
Hello.
Tingnan mo, pawis na pawis.
Are you an athlete too?
Not like her. I play football but on very low level.
Funny story of how we, my best friend, who's also his best friend, introduced us. Pero hindi siya yung peg na magiging asawa ko. So we were friends for 10 years.
Hindi ako yung athlete.
You
Nasa picture niya.
I thought I'd marry an athlete. And we were friends for 10 years before we became an idol. Yeah. So I married my best friend.
Oh, pwede pala eh, no?
Oh, di ba?
Where did you get your name?
Ha! Beautiful question. So my name is Jillian Akiko. My siblings and I were all born in Washington, D.C. Akiko is Japanese for autumn child because I was born in autumn. And we moved to the Philippines when I was 5 months old.
You don't have Filipino blood.
I don't have Filipino blood. My father is American, my mother's Japanese. But my heart's Filipino, and I was naturalized a Filipino via presidential decree in 1986.
How did that happen?
For sporting reasons. When it happened, it just happened so fast. Overnight. I mean, I went to the Supreme Court, picked up my passport, I went to my competition in Bangkok. My parents didn't have time to think about my siblings. Because sumusunod yung mga kapatid ko. When my siblings eventually tried to get citizenship, they had to go through Congress, Senate, they were denied. Yeah, so it's very hard to become Filipino, and I really feel, ever since then, I felt like there's a reason I'm Filipino. God made me this way for a purpose. And while my siblings, this is home for them. This will always be home for them. But I've always felt a special, purpose.
Talaga bang gusto mo mag-swim?
Alam mo, I'm competitive by nature. Swimming was just one of many activities we did. We were very hyperactive. Tatlo kami, all a year and a half apart. Our parents got us into piano, ballet, kung ano-ano na. But I think they found that swimming really wiped us out. Lumaki ako sa Paco, Peña, Francia. I learned how to swim at Army Navy Club. And then when I was mga 11, 12 years old, I was invited to join the national team.
You were just swimming and you were discovered?
Yes. When they first discovered me at Seafront, Kasi I was mga 5, 6 years old. I was one of the smaller ones. And we were swimming, and they would always give me half the workout. But in between, I was running around the pool beating up the boys. So they said, Teka, we'll watch out for this one. Leap of faith, I joined the national team, which was training at that time at University of Life. Went to my first age group, 86. Went to my first SEA Games, 87. And in Jakarta, I won a gold, won me a ticket to the Olympics. First Olympics at 88, at age of 13, going 14. Yeah, I know, it was kind of, I mean, maybe I make it sound like it was easy, but it's hard, huh? Because you're training twice a day, but it's also the only life I knew. The disciplined life, I was raised in it, so it was just another level of discipline, getting hard, you know, it got harder and harder and harder until it's like the only life you know, right? And it was hard, huh? I mean, moving schools, senior year, wala kang mga friends. I didn't go to my prom. I didn't know anyone. But I felt like I was there for a purpose and a mission, and I just had to do the best possible job. And thankfully, you know, 91 SEA Games, most memorable for me, just because home crowd, we had people chanting our names, grabe. And then 92 Olympics, which were probably my best for me. But I wanted to quit. I think what people don't maybe realize is sports is very, not only physically, it's emotionally, it's mentally, very taxing. It's work, you know, it becomes work. And the challenge for an athlete is to keep the fire, is to keep the passion, keep the joy alive, because you lose it day in, day out. Same thing, you know, and you deal with a lot of pressure. I started at such a young age. I wanted to quit my junior year of college because I was so tired. And I went to my final Olympics in 1996 in Atlanta. I maybe didn't swim that well, but for me, the success there was I rediscovered the joy that I had lost in the sport along the way. I found it. And my coach was like, let's keep on going, let's go. But at that point, I was like, no, I have this, and this is precious, and this is gold, and I'm okay. I retired with so much joy in my heart. I knew it was the right time. And I was thankful because you have so many athletes, when they retire, they're so burned out, they don't want to touch it. But for me, the next day, I went back into the pool. I loved it. I still love it, and that's still what I do. It's still what I look for because I have so much peace. It helps me out in the water.
Buti na gets mo yung life of an athlete kasi your best friend ka nun ba?
No, I would participate in triathlons or football. Pero syempre sa swimming, iwan ako. we joined an open water swim.
One of our first dates.
Yeah, cross channel.
From Olango to Mactan. Mga 5 kilometers. But I gave him fins.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it's the scariest thing I've ever done in my life. Pero syempre, iniwan ako. She's so competitive. Yeah.
I left him with my coach. I knew he was in good.
Ganun yung power of love, di ba?
I would be. And your kids are all sort of like into sports because of you or both of you?
Yeah.
You're very competitive by nature, very athletic.
Yeah. So both of them are in football.
Soccer.
Yeah, soccer.
How will you describe her as a person, as a wife, and as a mother?
So she's a very beautiful person. I mean, she's pretty, very beautiful physically, but she's really such a beautiful person inside. She has a big heart. Yeah, just her genuineness. And despite the elite level that she's reached as an athlete, she always remains humble.
Yeah,
very down to earth. I don't know, so many things. Kind, generous, very selfless. Right, guys? Would you say she's very selfless? Yeah, she doesn't.
You should ask them.
Yeah, you should ask them.
I like that there.
Yeah, so and I think her award that she received in Paris was really very well deserving.
Our first awardee competed in 3 Olympic Games for the Philippines as a swimmer. Since her competitive days, she has been the president of the Philippines Olympians Association building them into one of the most active associations in the region. She has been the chairperson and president of the Special Olympics Filipina and has run various clinics bringing sport to street children in the Philippines. It is a great pleasure to introduce Akiko Thomson Guevara, Oli.
My hope and prayer is that this recognition will inspire and will fuel greater work in our part of the world. And so let's all keep the Olympic spirit alive. Maraming salamat.
And so to be there during our centennial and to be given this award was really, wow, really special.
Kailan ka naging president of the...
So, Philippine Olympians Association, which is an association for all Filipino Olympians, of which we have 500 plus. And then after that, it's PSC, which was a huge, I never saw myself working in government. But as I told you, it was a wonderful opportunity to serve. I cried many tears there, but it also was very rewarding. And I was there for 8 years, and I served 3 chairmen. And then during the time of the PSC is when I started running the swim school, Leo San Agustin, which I've been doing since 2011, so that's 13 years. The POA, the Philippine Olympians Association, we promote the Olympic ideals, we support our Olympians. One of the projects we've done with the POA was we realized there's no repository. If you're looking for an Olympian, where do you go? It's very hard. The PSC doesn't have a database. POC doesn't have a database. So we decided, sige na nga, we'll put a database together. So you can visit our website, philippineolympians.org. It's a work in progress. As a result of this OSLP, we actually have a podcast. You know,
So, doon nagkukwento yung mga Olympians doon about their life?
and yes, and the one story you have to listen to is Lydia de Vega. At the time we interviewed her was March. I knew she was sick. I didn't know how sick she was. But grabe, it's like her parting words. It's so rewarding to be doing this. And through the OSLP Summit, you know, I feel like we're impacting and influencing Philippine sports. And it's a very quiet, but it's the groundwork. Because you want, the values are so important. Yeah, so it's really, I feel very blessed to be able to do the work I do.
Tell me why you're teary-eyed when you talked about values.
Because I'm just overwhelmed at the goodness of God and how He orchestrates everything. Because I could never do it on my own. But God, He surrounds you with good people who equip you, who support you, who provide you the skill sets you don't have. And then great stuff happens. You just want to do good, right? In the end of the day. You don't think about legacy, but it's like however way you can help and support and pass on. That's why I cry. They're tears of joy, because I'm grateful.
What are you joyful about?
Family, health, relationships, obviously. You know, God uses everything, all that I've been through, for a greater good. It's not just about the athlete, but it's about the service you do beyond sports. I think that's one thing, you know, sports has trained us to be, is to do our best. You know, always, it's not perfect, but it's our best effort.
So how is your mom as a person?
Okay. Okay.
Huh?
Good.
Does she go to all your games?
No.
No? I heard you're very competitive. Did you get that from mom?
I think so.
Yeah. So what do you want to say to mom?
Good job.
Good job, mom. Nice one. Noah, tell me something about your mom. Are you proud of her achievement?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? Is she your idol?
Like in football or
No, in general.
like yeah.
How is it having a child with special needs?
It's beautiful. We could see God's hand upon us. And she came on our 7th wedding anniversary, for crying out loud. It's been so eye-opening for me. And I feel like it's opened my eyes. And Sachiko is just, she's our therapy. You know, during COVID, she's, okay, maybe the IQ is not so high, but her EQ, my gosh, is high, super high. Raising her, what it's taught me, Bernadette, is that it's a bit of an adventure. She's not going to walk when typical kids walk, or talk as when typical kids talk. But with the right support and intervention, she'll get there at her own pace. And Sachiko is, if you see her, she's physically very able. Speech, we're working on the speech. She can communicate, but not as articulate. And she's in grade 2 now. If we show her the same support opportunities as we do Noah and Elijah, she'll get there. Swimming is harder. She's a fish. But it's hard for me to teach her because parang gusto niya gawin kung anong gusto niyang gawin. But she's a visual learner, so I see her doing the freestyle, pero it's her own self-taught freestyle. And we'll get there. I know we'll get there. Yeah, and I'm just very hopeful for her.
Yeah, just some pictures of the family with our family friends. We like to go outdoors. We like to go to the beach. We like to travel when we can. Sachiko, there's lots of pictures of Sachiko and my niece.
Oh, nice.
I keep scrapbooks, from memorable moments. So these are just some pictures of her, articles that we...
Our child of joy.
Yeah.
Did you write the article?
I did. These are all, see namin yung mga pictures. Oh, yan. Alam mo? She's a poser. She's a very good swimmer. Very athletic and very strong because she has 2 brothers. Yeah, so I'm hopeful na one day baka Special Olympics.
How does an athlete retire?
It's on your terms. You can retire on top. You can retire whenever you want. I think it's when you feel like there's nothing more that I need to... I've done what I've wanted to do. It's time to... For me, at least, everyone had always pegged me as the swimmer. And I felt like, shucks, isn't there anything else I can do? There's more. I used to always say there's more to me. I'm not just a swimmer, So for me, I was ready to discover other facets of myself. I was so grateful for this amazing chapter of my life, but I felt like, okay, there's another chapter to discover. I did classes. I did some acting classes. I went back to school, but I went through a depression because it's kind of like it doesn't come right away, right? And there's like you're kind of still searching and so I wrote a lot of poetry during that time. Got my MBA, which was one of the hardest things I've done, but I felt like I needed that skill set. So I went back to school, and then Game Plan came around, and that was so much fun. I mean, traveling, doing sports with such amazing individuals and such an amazing organization. It was the best day, some of the best days of my life.
If you're sobrang busy, how do you manage your household?
I have very good support. I have a Mary Poppins.
Lisa, anong po sasabi niyo po kay Akiko?
Sobrang bait po nilang lahat, ma'am.
Matagal ka na dito?
Opo. Mama Akiko, thank you po sa lahat. Nagtulong niyo po sa akin. Sir Chips, thank you po. Si Lord na lang pong bahala na magganti ho sa inyong kabaitan.
Bakit ka naiyak? Ganyan, iyak na rin ako.
Ako dito, talagang super bait na mga boss yan. Mula pa ako sa daddy ni Sir Chips, nag-alaga, hanggang sa mami, hanggang ngayon sa anak ni Sir Chips ko ni Mama Akiko. Parang hindi ka employee sa kanila, parang pamilya. Never kang ma-out of place.
Ay, naiyak ako. Bait po talaga nila kasi hindi ka tinuturing na ibang tao. Parang pamilya lang. Alam mo yun, malayo kami sa pamilya pero yung pagmamahal nila sa amin, isang pamilya. Masaya kami na nagtatrabaho sa kanila buong puso. Hanggat kaya magtrabaho, nasa kanila kami.
Pamilya sila eh. Pamilya na sila sa amin. So,
And we've been through a lot together. We've been through a lot together.
How was the journey without any win at that time? And how is it different now? And how can we improve?
Wow, it took a long time, no? It feels like it took a long time, but I'm just so proud of Hidlin that she did it when she did it. And she got a lot of flack. I don't know, maybe that just cracked the ceiling a bit. And then YULO, it's a long process. It costs. It's a big, huge investment, but man, it's worth it, right? I mean, it's just on so many levels. The pride, the inspiration, but also the other aspects. It'll inspire kids to get into sports, health, societies, all of effort. So that's why it's a no-brainer investment. And it takes a village.
Yung gold mo naman, yung madami kang nakuhang gold sa buhay mo, and then you got this Olympian for Life award. How does it compare the other achievements you've done in your life?
I guess because it's more encompassing of me. I mean, they're all very special. You know, back then, swimming was all I did, right? You know, and so of course that's special, so special. I very much appreciate it, but I know at the end of the day, I just want to be a good steward. It's his well done, right? It's, you know, his stamp of blessing and approval and whatever, that matters most.
And that's our game plan.
That's our game plan. Oh, next time we will swim.
And that's the other side of Akiko Thomson Guevara. At kagaya ng palagi nating sinasabi, Pilipino tayo kaya lumalaban tayong nakangiti.
Be happy!
You will see tomorrow's brighter. Tara, let's be happy.
Nagagalak po ako dahil tayo ay maglalabas na ng ating kauna-unahang libro. When bad news is good news, hindi ko po ito kwento lamang, kundi kwento po nating lahat. Sana ay magdala rin ito sa inyo ng munting liwanag at inspirasyon.
You will see tomorrow.